Some things that you said reminded me of a group called Kinetic Light, a performance and dance company. And they've made me rethink or reframe the ways I define accessibility. They've pushed us to move away from thinking about access as a service or an add-on, but to think of access as culture, because access is a generative and active place to work from. So I thank you so much for your presentation. We're now going to move to Cydney Brown. Welcome, Cydney.
Hi, my name is Cydney Brown, and I am Beam's Black Masculinity Reimagined and Mental Health Training Coordinator. I've been with Beam for about 4 months now, and what I can say about this work is that it is the first time where I have worked at an organization that truly feels dedicated to uplifting and nourishing and transforming the way we talk about mental health within the Black community. Outside of Beam, I'm currently pursuing my master's in public health and gender studies at Claremont Graduate University. And again, what I love about Beam is that it is in direct alignment with my values. I believe that Black folks, especially Black queer and trans people, deserve all of the love and nourishment and tenderness in this world. And it is absolutely imperative that we are the ones that create that. So with that being said, I hope you enjoy this presentation about Beam, and hopefully I will be talking to you all soon. Bye. Hi, my name is Cydney Brown, and I'm here to talk to you about Beam and Black Masculinity Reimagined. So a little bit about me. My name is Cydney Brown. My pronouns are they, them, theirs. I'm currently wearing a gray sweatshirt and dark undershirt. And I'm the Black Masculinity Reimagined and Mental Health Training Coordinator. I've been doing organizing and facilitating work for about 5 years, and I've been with Beam for about 4 months. And the focus areas of my work have included queer health justice, transmasculine health and healing, and sexual health and liberation. So I want to take a moment and acknowledge the misconception that Black folks do not practice mental health. That's not true. Black folks come from a long legacy of healers and survivors. To be Black in America today means that those before you chose to heal and survive through the known and unknown trauma brought against Black lives. Black folks had to be creative to survive, especially through art and community. Black people have always found innovative ways to heal ourselves, and we can see iterations of that creativity through the merging of art, technology, and healing. Eyebeam's work, including that of Rashad Newsom, in centering these intersections, serves not only as a display of innovation and possibility, but as another reflection of that legacy. Here at Beam, we honor and pay homage to those before us who have built a foundation of healing for Black folks to continue to build upon. We merge the ways in which Black folks discuss mental health with the ways in which mental health has been framed in a white and Western-dominated perspective. So Beam is a national training, movement building, and grant-making organization dedicated to the healing, wellness, and liberation of Black and marginalized communities. Our mission statement includes removing the barriers that Black people experience getting access to or staying connected with emotional health care and healing. We do this through justice-based organizing, education, training, grant-making, and advocacy. And so I want to talk about Beam's core values. These are 3 of them, but there are a number of more on the website. The first one being community-based systems of care. Dismantling the systems that dehumanize Black people in America is a long-term project. In the face of this, we must create community-based systems of care that help alleviate the harm and trauma for present and future generations. And we have to do that through systemic change. Emotional health work cannot see progress if that work is not done alongside addressing the inequities in the criminal legal system, economic reform, HIV/AIDS, transphobia, homophobia, racism, misogyny, reproductive justice, sexual assault, intimate partner violence, child sexual abuse, and other issues that challenge the wellness of Black communities. In order to be sustainable, community-based systems of care must integrate into current practices in Black life and build upon current traditions and norms in Black communities. How does Beam do this work? Well, we do it in 3 buckets: training the community, grant making and community organizing, and organizational wellness and coaching. In our training the community, we train educators, activists, barbers, counselors, politicians, students, families, and communities on healing justice informed mental health peer support skills. We do this to create a network of community members who can provide peer support and cultivate wellness in their communities. In our grant making work, we resource Black communities across the country with specific tools and funds needed to conduct healing justice work. Examples of that include our Black Parent Support Fund and our Southern Healing Support Fund. In our organizational wellness and coaching, we work to transform organizations, institutions, and policies through training, organizing, and coaching. Our goal is to help these organizations and institutions center healing justice in their operational frameworks, create less distress within Black communities, and actively cultivate healing. Some of those trainings include our emotionally intelligent leadership and social justice trainings and our healing and restorative justice 101 training. Our public programs include Black Healing Remix, Decompress, Heart Space, Black Virtual Wellness Directory, and Black Masculinity Reimagined. These are programs that we offer monthly. Black Healing Remix is actually an event taking place at the end of the month where we will be discussing ways Black people create different approaches to healing and wellness. Decompress is our monthly writing workshop where participants are able to center themselves through guided writing prompts. Heart Space is a space for Black folks to come and be in community with each other. While the space is guided by facilitators, its primary intention is to allow people to show up where they are and connect with each other. The Black Virtual Wellness Directory is actually a tool on our website for people to find Black service providers in their area, including therapists, doulas, Reiki practitioners, and more. Black Masculinity Reimagined is a program specifically for Black masculine folks to learn skills related to addressing patriarchy, sexism, misogyny, homophobia, and transphobia. In the following slides, I'm going to highlight some of the components of Black Masculinity Reimagined. So who we are. Black Masculinity Reimagined is a community building project that helps train and support Black men and masculine folks with addressing mental health and community violence. We do this in 3 ways. In skills building, where we embody and teach different ways of showing up in the world and managing conflict in our mental health. Practicing showing up in ways that support Black women and femme folks, affirm the dignity of trans and queer communities, and support the full emotional humanity of men and masculine folks. And 3, building accountable communities and networks with men and masculine folks, masculine identified folks that reinforce anti-sexist, anti-transphobic, and anti-patriarchal beliefs and behaviors. Black Masculinity Reimagined has 9 core assumptions, including all men and masculine folks have emotions and those emotions are valuable. We know that Black men are 4 times as likely as Black women to commit suicide. Men who have more traditional ideas of masculinity are less likely to receive mental health services compared to men who have more flexible views on gender. And with that, our assumptions include Black men and masculine folks' mental health suffers because of how we are taught to repress our emotions. And because of that, we also know that healing is our birthright, and we have the capacity and responsibility to heal. So this focus of our work has 3 objectives: interrupting behaviors and norms of misogynoir and violence, increasing emotional and mental health literacy, and increasing the capacity to lead more whole, authentic, and connected lives. Those modules include consent and sexual violence, de-escalation in domestic violence, masculinity and mental health 101, mental health and peer support, creating accountability, and love, relationships, and masculinity. These are some of the tools that we incorporate in our workshops. This is something that is my favorite part of our workshops, is that you're going to always leave with a tool that you can use for yourself and share within your community. This includes a tool on self-de-escalation called our pause tool, our talk tool on having hard conversations with loved ones, and also a tool on addressing traditional masculinity and mental health. All of these tools can be found on our toolkits page on our website. So here's a little bit about our impact so far. Our programs are regularly evaluated to see if participants are receptive to the lessons and tools and if they find them useful. Some of our workshops have listed include Beyond the Game, so talking about sports and masculinity, fatherhood, masculinity, and mental health, and our mental health and masculinity 101. Our social media presence has grown a lot since we pivoted to virtual workshops. We've had over 360,000 impressions made, close to 14,000 likes, over 4,000 shares, and over 5,000 saves. And as far as the feedback that we've received on our workshops, 93% of attendees of BMR workshops either agree or strongly agree that they can better define accountability, consent, self-de-escalation, and mental health. 97% of attendees of BMR workshops either agree or strongly agree that they will use tools learned from BMR and communities to support with mental health. And 100% of folks who have attended our workshops agreed or strongly agree that it helps them better understand the intersections of mental health and masculinity. One of my favorite components of the program is not only are we teaching and building community, but we are also making connections and having intergenerational conversations between parents, young ones, teachers, and educators. So a couple quotes that have been shared with us include, I plan on using what I learned in my relationship with my partner, how I engage with other men in my life, and how I raise my son. Another quote that was shared, the space was extremely helpful. In such a short time, I was able to connect deeply with others who share key aspects of my identity and gain new vocabulary and tools that I feel equipped to use to support the healing of Black masculine folks. I can't stress enough the importance of the community aspect piece of this program. It's what's made the work so crucial when we're talking about Black mental health and especially Black masculinity and learning how to build healthy and sustainable relationships with each other. And that's all I have for you all today. We would love for you all to stay connected with us. At the end of the month, our Black Healing Remix Summit is happening Saturday, February 27th from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. Pacific time. You can also stay up to date on our events at beam.community/events and at beam.community/reimagined masculinity. Thank you for having me, and I look forward to seeing you all soon. Bye-bye. Thank you all for watching that presentation. I hope you all were able to get more familiar with Beam and Beam's work. And a quick note is that at the end of the slides, we talked about Black Healing Remix. Black Healing Remix has actually been postponed, but we'll make sure to keep you all up to date on when it's been rescheduled. So please take care of yourselves, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.
That was so wonderful. Toolkits are definitely just like a way to my heart. So now I have a million tabs open where I'm just going through all the resources and frameworks the presenters have offered thus far, which is great because we're actually going to take a 10-minute break. So this will be a time for you to review your notes, look through things that the artists have mentioned, hang out in the hub, and we'll be back about 3:20ish Eastern time.